Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Sequel-A-Thon. It's been a few days since I actually recorded that one. I recorded that on Saturday morning and had it ready to I uploaded it and ready to go live on the channel today. But took a few days off. Now, some things are going on in my personal life I don't want to really discuss here. But if I have to pause in between this, just know it's for personal reasons. I really wanted to get this, going, but we'll see how many I can do before this comes up. But if it does, yeah. So I picked two good ones to start out with. We had Your Ass Stinks, which I would watch again over the Mutilator 2. The sequel to Fall Break. Yes, remember that? The Mutilator came out in 1981. I'm guessing because they said it was 41 years. 41 years, so I would. And if that was 1980, this came out in 2023. 82. This hold on. It should be easy to do. Hold on. $20, 23 minus 19 minus. No, I have plus. Look at the other side. That's a 2. 82? I'm guessing. I'm not going to do the rest of that. I'm assuming it's 82. Whatever. I enjoyed that one. It was a a campy slasher kind of deal. The opening of that movie was the guy's wife gets accidentally shot by the kid when he's cleaning the gun. And then many, many years later, the dad starts getting revenge on the kid's friends. Now they're all adults. Kid and his friends. On a fall break. And this movie takes a meta approach. Where there's a production making a remake to The Mutilator. And during this production, the cast members start getting murdered one by one. Now that's an interesting idea. And I'll tell you, the idea of the kills in this movie, the way that they visualized these and thought about these, was cool. The execution, not so much. The idea of this. But and by the way, they make a big mistake we start with footage of the original film towards the end of the film. When the main characters decide to split up because it's a slasher film. And the girl goes to the other way and the killer shows up and strangles her and it smash cuts to the current footage of the people filming the remake. And they go, cut! And then we see what the cinematography of this movie looks like. And my God, it looks like they filmed in someone's garage. Because that's what they're filming in, is someone's garage. But it just, goddamn, my videos look better than this. It felt like I was watching porn, but they forgot to add in the sex scenes. And my God, the dialogue. 11 people wrote this piece of shit? 11 people for this horrendous dialogue because they had nothing when it came to the kills. All the kills are saved for the last act, save for 2. 1, save for 1, maybe 2. Security guard and whatever. And the film's first director. And if you had any hope Okay, maybe the kills will be good. The first kill, the director of the film, he is killed. They talk about this lighting fixture. Be careful, you could cut your hands on it. Cut your hands clean up. That's what happens. But the effect is so fucking terrible. Hand comes out, and then it lands on his face, and then he gets killed. And then, but this takes, first of all, it takes 20 minutes, feels like, to get to that first kill. And then it takes forever to get to the rest of them, because it's a third act thing. Basically, they just start to kill up one by one towards the end of the third act. And the ending of this movie is fucking bullshit. Who thought this was a good ending? It doesn't help that you obviously knew who the killer was the whole time, because every time he does a kill, he laughs and you go, well, that's obviously him. And yeah, you knew who the killer was in the original, but you're not supposed to know who the killer is in this. Because he's obscured. He's wearing a mask and a hood. You're not supposed to know who he is. He could be Austin Theory for all I know. But every time you hear, oh, it's Chatham. Okay. It's quite obvious that it's Chatham. And it's I'm talking about Bill Chatham, or Jack Chatham, excuse me. The original, the guy who was Big Ed in the original killer. But the actor is like 90-something years old. You can't have him do it. So who do they get? The great Dr. Walkenstein himself, Terry Kaiser. That's right. Bernie Lomax, the doctor from Friday the 13th, Part 7. Right? And the one thing you could have done, because if this is a sequel to the original, and the whole thing, they're remaking the original, right? Just let's let us see him. Let us see him do it. Plain and simple. But the fact that does it need to be a mystery who it is? There's not even, if they're going for a big reveal, that's one thing. There's not even a big reveal. There's just someone find Bill Hitchcock's body dead. That's the only one they mentioned, by the way. And then you have interviews with the cast. I didn't do it. The social media asshole. We didn't do it. Jinx. And then you cut to Chatham and he's like, I didn't do it. Like, yeah, you did. And it does that whoop circle thing where it comes to his head and it comes back. It was Big Ed. And he gets taken away by the cop. And I'm like, how was that an ending? The cop, played by Damian Maffei. And I thought, or Maffei? I don't know. I thought maybe they'll do something interesting. Maybe it's too obvious that it's Chatham. And they'll turn it into him. Nope. They couldn't even do an interesting twist. And there's a joke with his name. Because he is Detective Columbo. And you go, oh, hey, that's a nice wink and nod. They couldn't even wink and nod. They couldn't even wink and nod the joke. Oh, Columbo. Oh, Columbo. No, it's a Detective Columbo. Columbo, like the TV show? Yeah, except I'm better, and I don't smoke. Bye, fourth wall. What are we doing? And there's not enough time to read up later. He's like, Columbo? Yeah, Columbo. Did we go through this already? And like I said, I thought for a second that maybe they were trying to push us another way, because he disappears from the movie. So it's Chatham, but he disappears. There's also too many weird subplots in this movie. There's a subplot, because I think you're supposed to think that maybe they bring back 2 original actors, right? Well, 3. The guy with the one leg came back. The Bill Hitchcock, as I mentioned, and then Ruthie, who was the main girl in the original. And it bring back Mike McKip, or whatever his name was, the guy that played Ed Jr., Wish he was in this. I liked him in the original. Couldn't get him. He said, no, fuck you. He looked at the script and go, this is shit, and I'm not doing it. Right? No. So then her husband is also there, and they wink and nod that there might have been some sort of affair that was had on the original set, and he wants to do it again, and there's no point to that, other than they're trying to make you think it was the husband's doing this. But then why was the director the first one killed? And why would you show us his motivations halfway through the goddamn movie when someone was already killed? Right? And the dialogue. I told you, I kind of jumped around. The dialogue is shit. Because they need to pad this out. There are scenes of dialogue that go on for so fucking long. Okay? There's a scene. The first scene of the movie. The director says, I need to get this one last shot. Like, he's like, okay, cut. And like, okay, we need to go. The assistant director, his brother goes, we need to go discount Nicolas Cage. That's what it looks like. It looks like that. Discount that. He's like, okay, everybody go home. He's like, no, I got one more shot to get. He goes, well, it's at the end of hours. If you make them work, you gotta pay them overtime hours. Shit! And they just go back and back. And like, okay, what if I do? What? Okay, we'll make them come back tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Well, that's the weekend. That's time and a half. Damn it! I'm just like, I mean, just go on. You know, and there's other dialogues. A normal thing will go, can't make them work. The rest of the time, we're gonna go, okay, let me get just one last shot, and we can go. Fine, just do it. But no, we gotta have to go back and back. And then there's more. And the whole thing is that when the director gets killed, he's looking for his phone. Right? Later we find out the assistant director, whatever her name was, found it. She said, oh, I have it right here. And then there's this whole thing, okay, who's gonna direct the film? I'll do it. No, I'm his brother, I'll do it. But I'm the assistant director, I'll do it. No, I'm his brother, I'll do it. Somebody fucking do it. There's the whole phone. Let me look at the phone. No, let me see. Jesus Christ. And there's so much back and forth where it's like you could have had one line and move on to the next. There was one scene where I'm like, can we end this scene? There's even one scene that pissed me off. So they're like, there's that social media guy, and he's flirting with this one chick. And then this other girl walks by, and she has a little conversation with them, and walks off. Now, the camera should follow her. But we stay with numbnuts and this bitch for a conversation that means nothing. Like, oh, what do you like to do? I'm like, do we really need to have this conversation? Why? Because then we cut to just her walking down the beach. Why didn't we just follow her? There are scenes like that, too, where we should be going with the person that walked away. But we're staying here with these people because they got nothing for that yet. We need to pad the runtime out. And the kills. Okay? The kills. Like I said, the idea of the kills. There's a scene where the one chick, I don't know, she's the makeup chick. She's with this other dude on the beach. She's got her tits out. They're making out. He's on top of her. And then the idea of this kill is that the killer's supposed to shoot a grappling hook through the guy's ass, which wouldn't work in the first place, and go through his mouth. There's not the hooks, the blade part. Unless you stuck it in his ass when you did it, it would not go up there. He's wearing pants. He still got his pants on. The hooks are here. They're like this. So it wouldn't... Whatever. It's an idea. It's a good idea. But with the budget you got... wrong. No. There's a kill where the dude gets covered in hooks and gets all cut up. And then he just gets smashed with a hammer or something in the face. There's one kill that's absolutely fucking stupid. One of the girls is hanging by the thing. She's strapped in. And she's like, help me, help me. Oh, we'll pull you up. We'll pull you up. And she's getting scraped on this tree. And by the time they get her all the way up, her skin's completely off. And you can see her skeleton. That's not how that works. Her skin would be scraped. She would not be dead, though. She is fucking dead here. And that's not how that works. And then there's these two kills where they run, get hooked by two swordfish thingies, and then the killer writes a capital B on one and an E on the other. Big Ed. B-E. I'm like, so it has to be Chad on it. But this is where they cut. Maybe there's one more kill, but this is where they cut, and they do the thing where, oh, they found Bill Hitchcock dead. And then they're just like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't us, Jinx. It wasn't me. It was Big Ed. And he's taken away in handcuffs. I'm just like, and I'm like, oh, okay. The movie ends. You hear cut. So I thought, let's say cut. I'm like, oh, this was the movie the whole time. No, the movie just ends credits. I don't think that cut was supposed to be left in. They couldn't even end the film right. If it was supposed to be left in, then fine, but I don't get why. I feel bad for those who were big fans of the original that saw it in 1982 and were really waiting for this film. They think, get a couple of stars coming back. The director, it's the same fucking director. And like I said, they made a big mistake at the beginning by showing footage from the first film, then snap cutting to this. Because the footage of a film in 1982 looks 10 times better than a film made in 2023. How the fuck is that possible? I know, well, Scotty, the budget was better back then. Or, the price of things went up. And so the budget... They could have had the same budget, and I didn't look it up. I'm not going to look it up. There's not even a Wikipedia page for the shit. I had to go to IMDb to look it up. Yeah. And there's no synopsis, of course. So I'm doing this off. See my pins. Unfortunately, I'll have to say the same thing I said to Return to Sleepaway Camp. This movie can fry in hell, for all I care. No. And the original one's no masterpiece. By the way, they're sucking that movie's cock in this. Right? You got this social media guy that I mentioned throughout the film, who's going around with his little selfie stick thingy, talking about the original movie like it's one of the biggest horror movies ever made. I bet you any amount of money, between $5 to $10, that unless they're a hardcore horror fan, they won't know what the Mutilator is. You ask a regular person on the street, unless they're a hardcore horror fan, they're not going to know what the Mutilator is. But this guy, not only that, there are other people who are fans showing up to this. One person's got the tattoo of the cover on there. I can see there being some fans. Which, by the way, there's a whole thing, like this is a rap party for Mutilator 2, for the Mutilator remake, right? People are showing up dressed as Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and Art the fucking Clown. How did they not get sued for that? This costume's got to be copyrighted or something. Art the Clown, even like, Art the, what? So what are your thoughts on this movie? No comment, so much like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.